some high school football on News 12 now! Yay! That's what I'm talking about right there.
We are laboring for you this holiday weekend.
Feel good, hustle up.
We're working hard to get you highlights from all of our rivalry games.
Change your body weight.
On this week 2 edition of the Blitz.
Why are you going 4 out right or left?
Jacksonville and White Oak had their inter-city rivalry. The Vikings trying to break a 13-game losing streak. The Cardinals trying to continue their dominance. Southwest Onslow used to roll over Richlands, but it was the Wildcats who had been rolling over the Stallions the last 2 years. Did that continue, or did the SWO get redemption? And East Duplin and West Craven scored plenty of points in a possible playoff preview. Time to get together with your friends for this holiday weekend and let us do all the laboring for you.
Hey, Mom, senior year, I love you!
The win starts now! Welcome to another wild edition of the Blitz. These are these nights we get early in the season, lightning, thunderstorms causing a lot of issues. We still have games going on right now. New Bern's playing in overtime at Northern Guilford, tied at 21-all. We've got some other games that are just coming in hot off the presses. But let's start with our Blitz Premier matchup. We are chock full of rivalries tonight. This was not a rivalry, but it's become a great matchup the last couple of years. West Craven and East Duplin wanted to step up their games and see how good they were early in the year. That's why it's our Mac Daddy's Blitz Premier matchup. East Duplin won last year's matchup in Beulahville 28-13.
Both teams have really good offenses.
They do. Let's get to the highlights and show you those Eagles running out in their home opener. East Duplin coming in trying to match them touchdown for touchdown. Well, how about DJ Davis, the junior quarterback for West Craven? Look at number 6 go. This was just the start of the evening, his second rushing touchdown. But here comes East Duplin. They were not to be denied either. They're stable of running backs. And they are going to go with the halfback option to get in to take the 21-18 lead at the half. And how about Hall of Fame night at West Craven? Pierre Bell, Jamie Cherry, and of course, the wide receiver and quarterback from the 90s who was so great as well. DJ Davis, how great was he? Almost sacked for a safety. Decides he'll just take it 95 yards for the go-ahead touchdown in the third quarter. That was right after East Duplin fumbled. And you know, their stud running back was also out with an ankle injury, Sean Davis. So Battle Holly trying to find other ways to generate the offense. The fake punt, West Craven sniffs it out. Battle Holly says, let me take a look at that again. West Craven taking advantage with the good field position. DJ Davis looking for Jerry Lee, making his papa proud on the sidelines. And that would set up DJ Davis. DJ play it again, his 5th touchdown of the game on the ground. And that would give East Duplin a 14-point deficit. But you know Battle Holly squad would not go away, looking for anybody to score at this point with 2 running backs hurt. Allen Stooks jukes and gets it in. That cut it to 6. The onside kick, though, West Craven recovers, and they hold on to get the win. 34-29. Big win for West Craven.
I got probably more respect for that program than, I mean, our next 3 weeks, man, are guys that have played state championship games in the last 5 years, man, and that's nothing to be joked with, you know, but I got the utmost respect for Coach Holly and his staff, man. I don't know that anybody does it better than they do it. I mean, our kids rose to the occasion tonight, and we played 2 freshmen tonight on the defensive and offensive line. We had sophomores scattered everywhere. Man, I'm just so proud of the toughness of this team.
So what a game. West Craven has New Bern next week. The Panthers, they're going to play Richlands next week. West Craven, of course, Mike Twitchell talked about it. 3 tough games in a row.
All right, and the top-ranked team in our News 12 poll, Havelock, hosted a Laney Buccaneer squad in a battle of teams who won their openers. Rams, number 6, yes, sir, Jalen Hewitt finding a score. Actually, LeBron Sharp. No, that's going to be Kamani Nolan with the touchdown score. Laney, though, as the fans checking out everything going on here, Kamari George looking deep downfield, finding his guy, actually intercepted that time from Kamari George by Havelock. So on the other sideline, Laney's head coach getting pretty intense there. So Jalen Hewitt back in the pocket looking for anything, dodging, side swipes a pass, and he is in for the end zone. Kendrick Kelly for the score, and Havelock takes care of business in this one, 46-15 over the Bucks.
All right, Northside Jacksonville had the biggest eye-opening score of Week 1. The Monarchs shut out Clinton 44-0. They hit the road to Swansboro, looking to go 2-0 to start a season since 2019.
That's about 4 years ago, and they met on the east side of Onslow County. It's our coin toss game. Air Force Sergeant Adam Preston there to make it heads and tails. Freshman quarterback Caleb Robinson just going to chuck it up to Mikhail White down the sideline. Nobody is stopping him from scoring the first touchdown of the game. And who was happy on the sideline? Head coach Kendrick Pollock, who's loving his new look Monarchs in 2024. Still first half, Robinson over the middle, finding Vincent Petito, and Northside leads big 14-0. But Rodney Beasley not stressing though, as his sophomore stud Austin Zeckler got the start and let his boy Jordan Coleman go up for it and reach across for the score. Swansboro tied it late 14-14, but Northside picked up 3 interceptions in this game, squeak out a 21-14 win. Their first 2-0 start, like you said, Brian, since 2019.
Other rivalry games, big Highway 17 matchup. Dixon made the short trip to Hampstead to take on Topsail. And they did get this one started. Dixon in their new gold helmets this year, trying that run game, and they're giving it to anybody who can tote the rock for them this year in that single wing offense. But the rain came really quick in this one, and now they've had to postpone it. They're going to resume it. Scoreless game. They'll resume tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. in Hampstead. So more football to play between Dixon and Topsail. Take 2 tomorrow morning.
And then Pamlico took its 1-0 record on the road to Broad Creek in Carteret County to take on Croatan, as the Canes gonna get sacked here. Croatan getting the sack here. And then as pep talk over here on the sideline for the Hurricanes, that wasn't Bobby Griffin, but the punt here, and setting it up is Croatan's number 21 here. That is Andrew Boucher. Making a little dodge here over to the left sideline, and there he goes. He's not going to score on this one, but he makes it pretty down far as the Croatan cheer. They're pretty excited. Check those CHSs. We need one of those for our blitz set. As Croatan short goal line run, and JP Bacali getting in for the score. This final, Croatan rolls against Pamlico 42-0.
Let's check out West Carteret making its season debut. The Patriots traveled to the Wilmington area to play North Brunswick, and the Scorpions stung them right away. Nick Green, nothing but green in front of him, a 40-yard TD. And just like that, North Brunswick in front. Daniel Barrow trying to break in a new quarterback this year. Talented wide receivers, but defense could be a question mark. Amari Montgomery takes it in for North Brunswick. They built the early lead. West Carteret, Willis Langley going to finally get them on the board with the field goal. That was a 42-yarder. Matt Dodge style there for West Carteret. But the very next kickoff, Ty Witters is wittingly going to pick it up and take it all the way back as West Carteret falls in its season opener. 41-23, the Scorpions sting the Patriots. Plenty more highlights to show you here on the Blitz, but first, our Coastal Carolina Community College fans in the stands. Let's go back out to Chip near Vanceboro, where the West Craven fans are fired up, ready to do some work this season. They're now 2-0 with New Bern next on the horizon. We've got more highlights next for you on the Blitz.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Hey, thank you for watching the Blitz. It's one of those wild nights where Mother Nature certainly is messing with us here in week 2. But Jacksonville's been messing with White Oak for a long time. Jacksonville has one of the longest running rivalries with them, but it's a little cattywampus as of late.
This game was supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but it took an hour and 50 minutes just to get started at 8:50. It took 2 reporters to cover it. It started with me, but then we had it finish with Andrew McClung to Onslow County for the rivalry game.
Yeah, I mean, starting the night over in Richlands, I mean, you can tell this has been one of those nights. It's full of sweat. It's full of rain. I'll let y'all guess. It's a mix of both right on me right now. It is one of those hot and humid nights. But, hey, we got some football in, and we got a great game in here tonight at White Oak. A big county rivalry. These two schools only separated by about 6 miles, Jacksonville and White Oak. White Oak getting fired up, and so is Jacksonville tonight. As we get to those highlights, as Jacksonville wanting to strike first. I mean, this is a team that they're supposed to win this game, but White Oak's, Josh Smith is going to start this game off in a big way with a 65-yard touchdown scamper. This is how you start a football game, especially in big rivalries. But hey, Jacksonville will respond, but it would take a little while. 6-0 as we go into the end of the first half. Jacksonville looking to make some, they usually have to run the ball a lot with Damon June on the ground, but June tonight, they held him pretty in check. So Amari Dorsey finds Sebastian Galarraga here in the third quarter for the score, 7-6 Jacksonville. But White Oak would respond back to that. They drive deep into Cardinal territory as White Oak's kicker, Ryder Ramson, he's got to make that kick. It's not how it looks going through the uprights as long as it goes through. But there we go. White Oak goes up 9-7. And as we go back into the third quarter, Jacksonville is going to respond once again. Amari Dorsey connecting with Rayshawn Eccles for the go-ahead score. Jacksonville is going to win this one 15-9.
Amari Dorsey does a great job. He's a tough kid. He's a fighter. He gets after it. Just like the whole team, we were down early and just kept on fighting and fighting, playing to the next play, and we just came out in the end with the win. Coach Bird and his staff did a heck of a job defensively. They kind of loaded the box on us. We tried to get as much as we could on the ground, but ended up throwing the ball. We had some drops early, but the guys came back and made some catches.
And that win tonight in this rivalry makes it 14 straight for Jacksonville. Pretty one-sided affair, but White Oak almost breaking that streak tonight. Again, big, tough game tonight. Saw great competition between both teams. But for now, reporting live tonight here from White Oak High School, Andrew McClung, News 12.
Make sure you go dry off, Andrew. Good work out there. Another rivalry game. Clinton made the trip to Legion Stadium to take on Wallace Rose Hill. Both round programs coming off of lopsided losses to start the year. Man, that was crazy. As Irving Brown calling his own number right at our cameraman, Mr. Grant Carlton down there. How are they playing in that rain still? As Jamari Carr flying sideways all the way down the sideline which would get the first down, set up Wallace's close touchdown. And this is just the point after attempt, but it was blocked. They had a lightning delay. Players would run off the field, but Wallace would come back and get this W, winning 59-0 in shutout fashion.
All right, we have another border war to check on. Washington County made the trek to Southside to take on the Seahawks. What a wild defensive battle this was. Southside trying to score early, but they're going to cough it up right down at the goal line. Washington County jumps on it. And Coach Ben says, all right, how about my defense? I'd like to see them do something. And boy, they did. They came up big. Southside, their defense came up big as well. Jeff Carroll would watch this one go to 4 overtimes. Still no touchdowns when finally Washington County would stuff Southside and get a touchdown pass in the corner. And Southside loses in 4 overtimes to Washington County. 6-0 in a big defensive battle.
4 overtimes, but Washington County, how about Washington and D.H. Conley? They're longtime rivals who've had some classic games through the years. Throw in the fact Pampac head coach Matt Taylor is a Conley grad who left the Hollywood Crossroads nest last year.
They met at Choppy Wagner Stadium in the original Washington, and here comes Conley. Led that great entrance and the great crowd that's there, and here they come throwing the ball. They've got that great quarterback, Samari Cabell, the junior, 6'4", can see over everybody, and he gets it down for the touchdown to Christian Holly. The Holly Jolly touchdown. There's those Conley crazies, always Natalie dressed, and here is Cabell again. This time, little swing pass to gain some yardage, And then Conley would get the easy win. They do not welcome home Matt Taylor with very nicely. 42-12, D.H. Conley gets its first win of the year over the Washington Pan Pack.
Now, South Central had its home opener. The Fighting Chris Cherries hosted Franklinton on the rainy night, as you've seen, as Franklinton in the backfield, but coach intercepted over on the sideline by South Central, number 7, Treltis Nobles. So coach giving his players a little pep talk on the sideline, and then it would be Cameron Whitley trying to find anybody. He's just going to loft it up and scoring in the end zone. Mr. 3, Avion Hewlett, as South Central gets the big win, 26-3 against the Rams.
Jones Senior, fresh off breaking its 15-game losing streak, hit the road to Wilson to take on Sally Howard. They played in Truist Stadium at Barton College, and Jones Senior, it was nice to win last week. They got in a big hole, had those weary bus legs as they would struggle giving up the early touchdown to the Eagles, and then one more time for Sally Howard. It would be another touchdown run, 61-14. Jones Senior falls for the first time this year.
Now, John Paul II had its second straight home game to start the season. The Saints would host Cary Christian, running out onto that nice turf field. That, depends on the night, but turf can actually be better for that, as the nice catch right here, and then later on, just blasting past defenders down the field, continued Sally. This time on the little screen, duking and juking out, as this one comes in at the final score.
No final.
No final.
No, they were rained out early. They're going to try to resume this one Tuesday on the turf in Greenville. Let's check in on our Kellum Law Firm scoreboard, and we will see Beddingfield Hunt. They were postponed tonight. They'll try to play again. Same thing with Aycock and Eastern Wayne. They're postponed to Saturday at, I think 6 o'clock was the start time of that one. And Goldsboro, Southern Wayne, same deal. A lot of rainouts tonight. We got some Saturday football, some Monday football, and even one Tuesday game. We'll get you all caught up on those scores coming up on the Blitz. All right, a battle royale was supposed to be Southwest Onslow and Richlands. Southwest used to dominate the series, winning for like 100 years until Richlands, Pat Bird came along. They won the last two. We're going to have to wait and see if Richlands can win 3 straight for the first time ever. Postponed tonight. They're going to kick it off in Richlands tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. So you'll have to wait for our battle royale for one more night. Let's check out our bonus game. Southwest Edgecombe made the short trip to Rocky Mount to take on Nash Central. A couple of good ball teams here. The Cougs, of course, picked to finish first in the Eastern Plains Conference this year, but they cough it up in the end zone. Nash Central recovers. Here comes Nash Central back the other way, and now they're picked off. Southwest Edgecombe, Shaiki Evans gets the pick 6, and Southwest Edgecombe, they go on the road. Impressive win over a really good Nash Central team, 34-28. Let's check out our Keller Law Firm scoreboard, where Spring Creek Lejeune suspended. They're going to pick that one up September 27th. Well, we're still waiting on a couple of other scores from Gates County, Pasco Tank, Columbia, Mattamuskeet. Here's some cool scores for you. James Keenan goes on the road to get its first win over Midway, 41-6. Beargrass going to play Monday. Kinston Green Central, they'll play tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
Now North Duplin, the Calypso kids made the long trip over to Yeatsville against Northside. We're on the very first offensive snap for the Rebels. Carol Phillips goes bye-bye, unhooking the trailer and sailing in for 6. It was a run game dominated by Hugh Martin's squad.